suddenly the Democrats are coming against their classic moves like cavorting with Russians to hack American elections and perjury, like you need a link. So who knows which of their foundational principles they will pull a 180 on and betray next. Climate scams, free money for deadbeats, Jane Fonda. But they don't really mean it. Hell, without perjury, they could never testify to anything. If you want to know what the liberals are up to, just listen to the lies they're telling about conservatives. They used to be able to get away with it too. But thanks to the interwebs Al Gore invented between buffet deep dives and sweaty masseuse gropes, the political playing field for liberal liars is now covered in rakes. Lying is what they do because that's all they have left on the left. They have no foundational principles except power. Their entire ideology is transactional. It's not based on idea, but on payoffs to Democrat subsets. Here's some dough for the baby crunching industry. We'll hassle some Christian bakers for the SJWs. Let's put a bunch of cis-het males of pallor who don't even listen to NPR out of work in West Tennetucky, or whether they grow cold to delight our global warming cultist pals. But today, the Democrats hold no levers of power. They can't dispense goodies anymore. All they can do now is howl, whine, and lie, and try to mobilize the parasites burrowed into the federal bureaucracy to undercut the will of the normal Americans. They do this by falsely accusing us and those who represent us of doing exactly what they are doing and what they intend to do once Trump is ousted. Their goal is to seize power again and permanently disenfranchise us, and they are happy to take the risk of literally ripping the country apart. The media is, of course, a willing and eager accomplice in this coordinated campaign of deception and slander. Notice how no one in the mainstream media pointed out how the Sessions perjury lie conveniently appeared simultaneously across the entire media just when the Democrats desperately needed to shift the narrative from the utter humiliation by Trump's horrific joint address. The media hacks never mentioned it because they were part of it. The Beat Boy skeletons to the David S. Pumpkins of progressivism. The left and its media problems. However, is that the new information? Reality means that they can start a controversy, but they can't control it. Here's the utterly predictable pattern. Spazzy Dems freak out about some imagined atrocity by a conservative, then within a few hours, it becomes clear that the alleged offender did nothing wrong, while conservatives scour the web and start showing how Democrats' hacks are on record doing exactly the same thing times a zillion. That's the key. The media can no longer guide the lie to destroy the target. The internet let us have a say and to grab the wheel. Oh no, Jeff Sessions talked to a Russian, then didn't bring it up when not asked about it. Oh, we Democrats would never do that, except thanks to us conservatives and a president who's willing to punch back twice as hard. Here comes the photos of Schumer and Ivan sharing a cup of Joe Stalin. And here's Pelosi partying with some Ruskies after denying it. And then the State Department turns out to have arranged it. And for the love of Gaia, somebody shuts down that internet machine because it never forgets. Frankly, I don't think Sessions should have dignified their nonsense by recusing himself. I think he should have strode out before the camera and said, "Hey, Chucky, I got a big fat recusal for you right here." We all kind of knew how the Trump inspires anti-Semitic threats meme was going to end up. Sweden Pelosi was just a couple fake controversies ago, and we know how all that went. Trump observes, "Look at Sweden, immigrant problem." Then the liberal media comes back with lies. Sweden is a herring-infused paradise of love and sharing. At which point, Sweden promptly gets on lit by fire by Muslim refugees. All that's missing was a woke, gender-fluid Viking wearing a Vly Tinkar Vokman t-shirt blowing on a sad trombone. Then Jewish community centers started getting threats, and of course it had to be Trump supporters, because fanatically pro-Israel people always threaten Jews or something. Facts schmacks. The bogus narrative must be preserved. So Trump condemns this scummery, but also notes sometimes it's the reverse to make people or to make others look bad. Of course, the fake news media went nuts because no hate crimes have ever been a hoax except for almost all of them. So we conservatives settled down with our tea and waited for the ending we totally saw coming. And of course, as very non-Fredorific conservatives predicted, the FBI busted the slug responsible for a bunch of threats, and it turned out to be, wait for it, let's see, was it a conservative Trump supporter? Did he have a MAGA hat? Just like the media and the liberal would have you believe? Oh, come on, we all knew it. Say it with me. Leftist member of the media. Awkward. Hey, look on the bright side. At least this particular leftist member of the media didn't murder anyone. And of course, there's the Trump authoritarian Trump, the new Hitler meme, except Trump's apparently not very good at authoritarianism since no one seems to be impressed. He has a lot of policy ideas which he openly explained to the American people in his speech, which he will submit to Congress to be debated and voted upon before being enacted. That seems to be correspond pretty closely to how I learned a bill becomes law on Schoolhouse Rock. Well, maybe this enforcing the duly enacted laws passed by Congress to deport illegal aliens counts as authoritarian Hitler stuff, except it seems odd that a leader who is doing what the people's representatives passed in law instead of unilaterally deciding on his own not to do what the people's representatives voted to do, and thereby effectively ruling by decree Hitlery authoritarian. Obama unilaterally changed the immigration law by simply not enforcing it. That seems pretty undemocratic. He also seems to have tapped the communications of his political opponents and left some sleepers in the government dedicated to bringing down the new administration. Maybe I'm being fussy, but those seem super undemocratic. Naturally, the mainstream media finds this all less disturbing than Kellyanne Conway's Oval Office footwear. Watch the liberals listen to what they say, because their lies and their slanders are a roadmap for their plans for the future.